Welcome to my channel, everyone. Thank you for all of the support that I've had recently over all the various platforms that I've decided to put videos on. Your support has been amazing. By the way, you look amazing. You look wonderful. Did you do something today? You look great. But yeah, so welcome to a YouTube video that probably is one of the most requested videos at the moment, which is about my Mandarin. For example, how did my Mandarin get to this level? What resources did I use? You know, all of these different things. I'm gonna cover those in this video today. I've been trying very hard to reply to a lot of the comments that I've received on Instagram and TikTok, but there's only one of me. There are so many of you, so, you know, sorry, it's difficult. But one of the most popular questions was obviously to do with my Mandarin, as well as other people asking what they can do to improve their Mandarin. So that's what today's video is about, and I'm gonna break it down into 4 parts. The first part being, when did I start learning Mandarin? The second part, how did I learn Mandarin? The third part, which I think is probably the more important part, I'll explain why later. How did I get to the level that I'm currently at? And part 4, which a lot of people will also be looking to hear, what advice can I give you as someone who is beginning to learn Mandarin? Disclaimer, I talk a lot. I love to talk. So be prepared for all of that. And, if you want, just enjoy the vibe. Let me talk and, you just enjoy, we're chatting buddies, we're bros and sisters. Just listen to me, just go off. And, if you don't have the patience for it, then so I was in it. Part 1, first question. When did I start learning Mandarin? In 2019, once I came to China. Prior to coming to China, I did not know any Mandarin. I only knew 2 words, ni hao and xie xie. And I'm pretty sure even then my tones were completely off. So I came brand new, fresh, no experience whatsoever. Needless to say, if I can do it, you can do it. So it's not too late for anyone that's looking to learn a language. You can start at any time and you can learn it as fast as you want. So I started in 2019, but I was on and off with learning. I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, that's when I started. I remember when I just came to China, I came with this little book that my dad gave me. It was like a little survival guide, kind of Chinese, but with all of the basic phrases that you might need to get through day by day. I remember within like the first few days of me being in China, I wanted to start. I was looking to start. I was like, I'm here. I'm in China. I want to start speaking Chinese. So I wanted to get something to eat. I was gonna go to one of the small restaurants, and I brought my little survival guidebook with me because, I knew no Chinese. I pretty much had to depend on this book. Well, that's how I felt anyway. I went to this little restaurant just below the hotel. There were a few expats sitting outside. Eventually we became friends, but at the time we didn't know each other. They were sat outside the restaurant. I didn't even really talk to them. I kind of just, hey. And I was locked in. I was locked in. I walked into the restaurant. Well, actually, I didn't walk in. I stood at the door and I took my book out, trying to find the phrases that I was like, yeah, the Mandarin starts today. Like if they replied with any answer to me, I wouldn't have understood. But my main thing is, I'm going to talk to you and you're going to understand me. That's how it was playing out in my mind. Yeah, I got nowhere. So the expats were laughing. I didn't get anywhere with that book. I didn't manage to order anything. It didn't work out. In the end, I was just that guy that was just kind of pointing to the pictures. Xie xie. Like that was me. Again, if you want to learn Mandarin, you can. It's never too late. Part 2, how did I learn Mandarin? It is pretty obvious that with the right environment, you can take full advantage and it will help your growth exponentially. You'll make a massive change if your environment is ideal. I have the ideal environment because I live in China. Yes. Did I take full advantage of that? I did not. With Waimai being so convenient, I didn't really get the practice that I needed because it was just so easy to order food. I just order food home and that was it. The price of food is so cheap. I didn't really have to worry about, if I keep buying takeaway every day, I'm gonna be broke. Nope. But yeah, so it's only in the last few months that I've actually started to go out and, try and explore more of the food here, going to restaurants and interacting with people. So I haven't even really had the experience of actually like talking to the employees at restaurants or anything like that. Is mainly just come down to what I've learned along the way, that now when I go to these restaurants, I have a pretty good idea of what to expect, or I understand them. My life here was very straightforward. There were 3 locations that you could find me. At work. If I wasn't at work, I was at the gym. If I wasn't at the gym, I was at home. So I really didn't take advantage of my environment. It was almost as if I was pretty much back home, to be honest. Obviously, I still did have like small interactions, or I'd hear people talking on the train or anything like that. But in terms of my communication with other people, didn't really happen much. I did have a friend, well, I did have a friend. He's still here. I have a friend, a Chinese friend, who can also speak English. I guess he was kind of the person that I'd normally go to go and practice some of the things that I'd learned, because I would study a lot in my room. So I didn't take advantage of my environment, but I still made sure to study hard. So I spent a lot of time independently studying in my room. Now, when it came down to speaking, and if I wanted to practice speaking, I would go downstairs to the communal area that we had, and I'd talk with my friend. And I try my best to say these words clearly and, think I'm doing the tones right. A lot of the time he was telling me like, yeah, your tones are wrong here. You need to do this, you need to do this, you need to say it like this. It felt like I was being gaslit. I guess I was tone deaf at the time. I really couldn't hear the difference in what I was saying and what he was saying. He'd say something, I'd say it right back, and he's like, Like, I know I'm saying it exactly how you're saying it. But at the time, I just couldn't, adjust my hearing to like actually listening out for the tones. Or maybe I just wasn't listening to the tones in my voice. Okay, yeah, I wasn't listening to the tones in my voice. Okay. But I took his criticism, and I'd go back to my room and I'd keep on practicing, I'd learn more vocabulary and all these things. Eventually, I adopted the technique that I'm pretty sure probably a lot of people have adopted, which is just becoming a one-man choir and a conductor at the same time. You need your hand to guide you. So I was like, like, 你好,你叫什么名字? Some of the apps that I was using to learn, I was using Duolingo, and there are a few other apps, but I think Duolingo was my main one. I was also, so this isn't an app, this is a show. I was watching a show, it's a Chinese show. It's actually a very popular novel here, but I was watching the anime adaptation. They only had 1 season at the time. If you want to look for it, the English translation is The King's Avatar. Back to Duolingo. I finished the Duolingo course, and I moved on to this app called Supertest. The app is designed to focus on the HSK exams. So what that means is you will be going over your reading, your listening, your writing, as well as a set number of vocabulary for each level. In total, there are 6 levels, with each level having a different amount of vocabulary. So that became my main thing, because I was like, I need to improve my vocabulary. Vocabulary is very important. The main thing is with the Supertest app, there are the different areas that you'll want to practice. Is preparing you for the exam. I think that it's pretty solid, to be honest. Part 3, which I think is probably the most important part, well, at least in terms of my progression, is how did I get to the level that I'm currently at? I've told people a lot in my comments that I took a break, like I've been on and off learning Mandarin. So I came in 2019, we got to the end of 2019, I was still studying, and then COVID happened. At the start of 2020, it kind of just threw off a lot of things, and that's kind of where I stopped learning. So now fast forward to 2023, and I said to myself, I need to get back into my studying because I don't want to waste this opportunity. I'm in China, so I can actually use the language, because I love learning languages. I could sing to you a whole song in Spanish right now, back from when I was in secondary school. La bamba, la bamba. But yeah, learning French, Spanish, German in school, it was all well and good, but once the bell rings and class finishes, that was it. Everyone leaves the classroom and then everyone's just speaking English again. So I didn't really have an opportunity. Now I'm an adult and I've moved to another country. Now I'm in a position to actually use the language. So I was like, yeah, this is the year. This is the year that we really get into it. So I told myself that I was going to start my HSK exams in 2023. So now we come to August. In August, I was like, okay, now I'm gonna book. I booked my exam in September. So then once I had booked the exam, I paid for it and all, I was like, okay, it's real, it's happening. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of preparation. I was only doing HSK 4, so I didn't really prepare a lot. I did a few mock exams just to kind of see like, where am I at? I was getting like 90%, so I was like, yeah, it's fine. I won't really have to do too much studying HSK 4. I just want to dip my toes into the exams again. You know, I want to kind of get myself used to how the exam is done, so I know what to expect when I go for the higher levels. The only reason why I didn't do HSK 5 was because I haven't finished all of the vocabulary, so it kind of felt like a stupid idea to go and book an exam when I haven't actually finished learning everything yet, and I didn't want to put myself under a lot of pressure to try and finish all of the vocabulary. So I just decided to do HSK 4 and just get myself a certificate, just pass. And actually I did pass. So here's my certificate. For my listening, I got 91 out of 100. For my reading, I got 88 out of 100. For my writing, 89 out of 100. So my total score was 268 out of 300. I'd done the exam, I got my certificate. Now, don't judge me. I bought this book, I think just after Christmas. This is my first textbook for learning Chinese. I know, that's wild. Like, wait, so you're speaking Chinese like this and you didn't even buy a textbook? Yeah, don't be like me, be better. But okay, so to sum up the video, part 4. What advice would I give to you as someone who is learning how to speak Mandarin? 1, use some beginner-friendly apps. Something like Duolingo is fantastic because it will help you with the opinion and helping you understand the tones. And then, you know, hey, here's my personal advice. Use your hand, you know, to get your tones. Trust me, this was great. Number 2, buy a textbook. Don't be like me who bought a textbook after being in China for like 4 years. Very stupid of me. Be better. Number 3, try to find some shows in Mandarin. You know, if you want to, you know, watch anime, you know, try and watch some Chinese anime, or maybe watch Peppa Pig or something. Okay. You may think like, Peppa Pig, why would I watch Peppa Pig? It's beginner friendly. It will help you with the very basics. So I'd suggest it. You let children watch Peppa Pig to improve on their English. You can use Peppa Pig to improve on your Mandarin. Podcasts. I use a podcast on Spotify called Chinese Pod. I'm pretty sure that they've got 3 different levels there. I'm not too sure. I've only used the intermediate and the advanced because it's only something that I've been using pretty recently. So I've already kind of gotten to that stage. I think there's a beginner level too, so you'd have to check. But the main thing is you want to try and give yourself that environment. I'm sure I have more to say, but I can't really think of it right now. But I think this would be a great start for anyone that's looking to learn Mandarin, as well as, I guess, give you a little bit of an introduction into my story. And yeah, if I have any more advice in future, I'll probably redo this video. If I have any better resources, you know, if I find anything, I'll hook you guys up, I'll let you guys know. But for now, I'm gonna leave it there. See you later.